morning, everyone. Welcome back. How we doing? Another day, another dollar. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Alrighty. SMCI, yeah. Yeah, you're witnessing some history here, man. Awesome. Headed to Sebring today. Nice, Lucas. They're doing like a track day. I sort of want to go to the Sebring this year. It's in March, right? Sebring 24-hour. What is it? I think it's mid-March. Yeah, wouldn't mind going to that. March 13th to March 16th. I'm going to try to get some tickets to that. It's a good time. To those who have been at Sebring, you know what the inside of the track. It's entertainment, man. The party that goes on the track, pretty awesome. Can get me a paddock pass for an event in May. You run SR. What's SRO? I mean, I'd love to take my car. SRO. Huh. All right. Maybe shoot me an email, Lucas. Does UK and Japan technical recession affect the U.S. economy? I have no idea, Subham. All we do is we watch what the market does, right? We just watch what the market does. Morning, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. Why does Vincent have model cars on the shelf and not me? I don't know. Yeah, coin. Holy hell. Coin, another one. Big pump. Bitcoin up to what? 52,000? Almost 53,000? Big Bitcoin move. Yeah, Netflix, we'll see, man. We'll see. I'd love to see it continue. What a beautiful chart it is. So we'll see. We'll break it all down today. Morning, guys. Welcome back. Hope you guys are all having a good morning. Some interesting moves going on this morning. Strong NASDAQ ES again. Very nice 20 SMA bounce. I haven't had to get an oil change yet on the GT3, but actually, it's funny you say that because I was thinking about that today. I don't think it's anything crazy. It's not like you have to pull the motor or anything. Yeah, some crazy moves, some interesting stuff, right? We got a lot of those 13F filings. So you guys saw that yesterday. The 13F filings from the big fund managers and companies, etc. So we saw some moves in the after hours because of that. I think Berkshire Hathaway reducing its stake in Apple, and I think that's affecting Apple today. Some of those small penny stock names that NVIDIA was talking about taking stakes in are sort of moving this morning. Tesla, you had the 13F on Tesla showing that Elon has a larger stake in Tesla now. So a lot of interesting stuff going on in the after hours, and we'll see how that all translates to today. Should be interesting. So clear levels to be watching today. Clear levels to be watching today on the futures. Some clear levels held yesterday, and let's just go ahead and review everything. So press that like button, subscribe to the channel. The first thing that we need to pay attention to is the economic data this morning, and that is right here. So economic data, you guys can see. We have retail sales this morning, and we have the unemployment claims, the jobless claims. So that's at 8:30. Let's wait for that, right? That's going to be something to pay attention to today. A little bit of economic data. And then tomorrow, of course, we have that PPI. So today, core retail sales, unemployment claims. Tomorrow, PPI. And that is about it for that. So 8:30, we'll wait for that to be released. Earnings calendar. We do have some interesting earnings on the docket here. Let's go ahead and pull up that earnings calendar real quick. Get a quick picture at it. We do have some more earnings approaching. So here we go real quick. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Where the hell did it go? 1 second. There it is. Bam. Bam. Zoom in. So today's Thursday. Wow. Today's Thursday. After hours today, we have DraftKings, Coinbase, Roku, Trade Desk, Applied Materials, DoorDash, Toast, Open Door. So some interesting ones there. We'll see what happens. All right. We'll see what happens. Oh shit. What did Yeti? I was actually very interested in Yeti. Oh, I was right. Shit. Let me see if what was the expected move there? 6. I would have got it. I was thinking about shorting Yeti because of Stanley. That was my idea. I was thinking about shorting Yeti because of Stanley and like all that hype that came out over Stanley, and I thought, okay, maybe this would affect Yeti. Let's see. How'd they do compared to it missed? Okay, EPS miss, sales miss. I should have went for it. Whatever. Earnings are it's just such a guess. But yeah, I was thinking about, hey, maybe this Stanley hype that was been going on around, that social arbitrage, maybe that affects Yeti. Remember we talked about that? So it looks like a little bit of an effect there on Yeti. So that's interesting to see, sort of work out there. That was this morning. Today, high flyers like Coinbase up huge Coinbase move. DraftKings also tonight. Roku, interesting one as well. Yeah, Stanley. Yeah, interesting. What are you going to do? Nice. Keep an eye on this, right? Keep an eye on this. See if it continues to sort of affect the name. So that's that. Let's jump into the futures. Let's get an idea of the levels on the market today. So first thing I want to do, guys, is I want to go out to the 4-hour chart. I want to go out to the 4-hour chart, and I just want to share with you sort of what happened on that pullback on CPI, right? Pullback, and we came right back into that 20 SMA. And again, right, that 20 SMA that we continue to talk about on this channel, right? Once again, look at how clear that hold of that 20 SMA was again. So that pullback into the 20, creating great opportunity for a nice little bounce there, and this 4-hour trend continues. So 20 SMA still intact, still strong, something we need to know, something we need to pay attention to, okay? All right. Now, there's a few levels that I'm watching today. There's 2 right here. And the first 2 that I'm watching, let me go ahead and get a little bit more time here. Well, really, the number 1 that I'm watching is the CPI highs, okay? That's my first major level I'm watching today. The highs before CPI, that was 17,870. So that's right here, all right? Right here, you have a high before that CPI downside. Remember that morning, that Tuesday morning where we got that big downside? The high of that candle was 17,870. 17,870 was right there. 17,870 is some rejection from back here. 17,870, you can see it's an important level on the NASDAQ futures. So 17,870 is number 1. We can go to the 5-minute chart from this morning, and we can see how the NASDAQ is trying to maintain above that level, right? 17,870, 17,870, all this 870 here, right? So we can see 17,870. So for me today, right, as long as you're above that 17,870 level, as long as you're above here, I think you have opportunity to the upside. That is above the CPI highs, and that is above that last Wednesday, Thursday high as well. That's going to be my first major level to watch. 17,870 on the NASDAQ futures. As long as we're above there, I am looking for upside. If we get a pullback to it, right, I will wait for that confirmation, which if you didn't watch my video yesterday, I recommend you do. If we get a pullback to that level, I'll look for that confirmation that we try to hold, and then see if there's a new long opportunity off that level. So first level today, 17,870 for me on the NASDAQ futures. I would have that marked out. Under that, you have this previous day morning high, right? Yesterday's morning high around 17,845. That is the same level that held here in the after hours yesterday, right? You can see right here, this 845 level went from a rejection early morning yesterday into a support here in the after hours yesterday. So you can see, right, 17,845, another level that if we pull back to, possibly another opportunity on a bounce. So those are my first two levels. And I think first, these are the two that have to hold for me today. All right, these two right here have to hold for upside continuation in my mind. I do not think you want to see the NASDAQ fall back below that high from yesterday morning. If we fall back below that yesterday high early morning, right, I think you could see a little bit of weakness step in. So 17,845, 17,870, those are the two levels. That's number one, right? That's the number one watch right there. Under that, it's 17.8. Now, 17.8 is, if I zoom in here, all right, let me go ahead and get this chart right. 17,800 is these lows, right, that we squeezed above yesterday. This was the 17,800 level that we could not get above for majority of the day yesterday. So if we go to the 5-minute chart and we go to yesterday's action, right, we can see 17.8 was the level we really couldn't get above for majority of the day yesterday. We had a very hard time breaking and holding over 17.8. Now, later in the day, we did get that squeeze above. Right here, we got that squeeze and we got that hold above. So that would be the ultimate, sort of deeper pullback that I would be watching today. So those are my three levels, right? 17,870, 17,845, and then eventually that 17.8 if we do come back to it. Those are my three levels to be watching on the downside, okay? Those are my three. Yeah, I mean, you have 17,880. It's in there. It's this whole zone, right, guys? It's, 10 points on the NASDAQ is like a blink of an eye. So I watch the whole zone. All right. Now, of course, there's more, right? But I'm not going to get too deep into that. But, of course, there's that 17.7, right? You can see right here, 17.7, which is also around that 20 SMA. 17.7 was where we held yesterday. Of course, we're always watching that previous day low. To the upside, right? The upside levels that we need to be cautious of if we're trading up, right? If we're trading up, where do we need to be cautious of on the upside? It looks like you probably should be watching around this high, right, from the pre-market, which is around that 925. It's right in there. That's number one. But the big one, right? The big one is, I think, right here. It's this Tuesday pre-market rejection that created this very aggressive downside. It's right there at 17,960. So if I go ahead and zoom into the 15-minute chart, and I give you a little bit more scale here, right? You can see, number one, you have this little rejection that's coming in this morning, right here, 17,925, right there, right? And then above that, right, you have this, right there, 17,960, okay? 17,925, 17,960, right? Those are the big two above. And then, of course, psychological 18,000. All right, so that's how I'm going to sort of have my level set today. All right, I'm going to look to see reactions at these levels. Do I long here? Do I take a long over this level into that 17,960? Right? Do I maybe get a deeper pullback and take a long off that 845? These are all the levels that I'm going to be watching today. 925, 960, 18,000, 870, 845, and 800. Carmine. Carmine's up at 4 o'clock, man. I don't know how the hell he does it. Go back to sleep, Carmine. QQQ. Trust the levels. I actually gave Carmine a shirt. Carmine's repping the Options Insider Trust the Level shirt. All right. QQQ. I think it's a lot about 433 today, guys. I think it's a lot about 433, right? 433, again, is the CPI highs, right? Right here. We had that high right before CPI that rejected very aggressively. That's 433 on the QQQ. 433 is also that general area that we rejected yesterday, and it is that area that we have broken and held above here in the after hours pre-market, right? You can see right here, 433. 433, we had a general rejection there. So we can put we can have both this whole zone on our charts, I would say, all right? 432.65, this is sort of how I like to do it, right? We have that previous high right there, and we have these lows. So 432.65, 433, that whole zone is a zone that I would be looking for. If we pull back, do we see that maintain, and do we have a long entry off that level? So 433, 432.65, that's the zone I'm watching for pullback longs, okay? If we zoom out, we can see the importance of this level. This is previous highs all here, right? Previous highs. After we held it, we got upside. We got above it again, right? If we come back down to it, do we hold it here again for another upside opportunity? Okay, that's number one. 433, 432.65. All right. Now, under that level, right, we can see this beast of a zone here that I have between 430 and 429. It's about a dollar point range on the QQQ. And we can see how beasty that level was yesterday, that whole zone yesterday. These previous highs all in that 430, 429. Look at how well the market maintained that area yesterday, right? Very clear. All this previous high consolidation, all these rejections that came in a couple weeks ago, turned into a very clear area that the market did not want to fall below yesterday. So 429, 430, that's a pretty beastie level down there. If you do trade back to that area, I would be looking to see if that holds, okay? So 433, 429, 433, 432.65, that's an area, and then down to that 430, 429, big area down there. To the upside, it looks to be just this high right here, right? This high, that same high that we were talking about from Tuesday, that's 435.30. That's right here, right? 435.30. Rejections on that Tuesday pre-market causing that aggressive downside, and that's going to be the supply that I'm watching right above. All right? Above that, you have this little 436.60 area right in there. All right? That's the QQQ. How do you get a TTL shirt? Go to the website. I think it's in the description, actually. I'm pretty sure. ES. All right, so the ES. First pullback level I'm watching. First pullback level I'm watching is this 5,020. And it looks like, and I know it seems sort of dumb, but as of right now, it really does look like the ES is just reacting in 10-point intervals. Okay, that's honestly what it's looking like. Every 10 points, I've seen reactions on this market. So you can see 5,020, 5,010, 5,000, 5,030, and 5,040, right? It's almost every 10 points on the ES where you get some kind of a reaction. So as of right now, 5,020 is this previous high. You can see right there. See that 5,020 high, which turned into support, right? That's a very big level there, 5,020. This is also where we rejected yesterday after, sort of at market close. So what am I watching today? You can see right here, I'm watching this 5,020 area, right? 5,020, 5,020. If we come back down to it, is this the hold level that gives us a new long opportunity? That's a big watch for me today, okay? 5,020 on the ES futures. Under 5,020, we have 5,010. Now, why 5,010? We have 5,010 highs from yesterday morning, which held as support in the after hours yesterday, right? So a nice little bullish flip there right here in the after hours session. We had 5,010, and we had that turn from a rejection point right here into a support. That's very key there as well. So if we do drop 5,020, right, we're looking at this 5,010 area right down here. Under 5,010, of course, you have that 5,003, that sort of 5,000 psychological level. And you can see yesterday, right, and this was from my video yesterday, if I go to the 2-minute chart and we go into yesterday's price action, look at the reaction and look at how important that little 5,003 hold was towards close yesterday. This was the same level that we tried to hold above yesterday that failed, right, 5,003. And yesterday afternoon, we held it, creating that upside. So pretty much every 10 points, guys, you're going to see some type of a reaction. That's sort of what I'm watching. To the upside, the areas that you have to be cautious of if you are long. Okay, the areas to be cautious of if you are long here. Number one is definitely going to be this little CPI high, which is around this 5,030, right? Which is also these lows right here. So this 5,030, 5,027. I'm just going to bring this down to 30 for now, so you can sort of see how that's right in that general zone, right? 5,030, 5,027, all in that general area. You can see previous lows, CPI highs, and that's sort of where we're rejecting right now on the ES. Okay? Above that, 5,040. So you can see how it's every 10 points, right? You can see 10 points, right? 30, 40. You can see 20. You can see 10. And then you have that 5,000. All right? So have those levels marked out. It's all about intraday management of the levels. It's all about intraday reacting to intraday, reacting to the intraday reactions to the levels. The intraday, what it's looking like. What is it looking like at this level? How do I react to it? That's going to be the key. That's always the key. So on the SPY, I think it's pretty easy, right? 500. It's just 500. 500. It looks like it's that psychological level. That's what it's looking like this morning, right? Right here, 500. So you have the previous lows, you have these previous highs, and you have that little rejection coming in this morning. 500 on the SPY. That looks to be the big boy. All right, if we can get over 500, I would say this market's going to continue, right? If you get a nice clean hold over 500 today, I would say that's a psychological reason to see more upside on the market. If we stay under 500 and we see rejections come in, right, then you're probably going to pull back and retest some demand. So 500 for me is sort of that all clear level for now. For now, we'll see. But 500 just seems to be that watch. Under 500, if you do pull back, off that 500, I would say this 498.50 looks to be pretty valid here, right? 498.50. This is also, right, this is not just a short-term level. Let me zoom out and get more time here. So under that, if we do pull back off that 500, you can see right here, right? Previous highs, previous lows, and this low from the pre-market. That is all right here at 498.50. So if you do pull back, right, today on the market, I would say look for a pullback to that 498.50 and then see if that's a opportunity for upside. 498.50. That's a pretty clear level to me. You have these previous highs, this low right here, and then this little support hold from the after hours last night. That's 498.50. All right? That's that. Let me see. Do I want to mark out this little high? Yeah, 498. Probably a valid reason to, I would say, a pretty good level to be having on your charts as well. Right here around this 498. That's just the previous day high here. Intraday. Right there. 498. So I'd probably have that marked out as well. Okay. All right. IWM. IWM is actually back above 200. All right, guys, we got above 200 here in the pre-market. So what are we looking for? We're looking for 200 to hold today on the IWM. That's really it. All right, does the IWM, I would say it could be down to like this 192.50, 192.6, this previous high right here. See this? I would say if the IWM can stay above that 200, 192.50 area, right, that would be something I would pay attention to, okay? You are back above this previous high in the pre-market. If it pulls back and it holds that previous high from right here, right, that's possibly a long opportunity. All right? Yeah, we got data in 5 minutes. We got retail sales. We got unemployment data. Let's see, how this reacts. We'll take a few minutes. Let me get a sip of water. Is it water? I don't know. Maybe not. 2,100 people, 600 likes. Ouch. Ad. Running the ads. Press that like button. If you guys could, subscribe to the channel. Help me continue to grow the channel. I need your help, man. I need your help. Can you do arm next? No. I got my schedule, man. We're going through the schedule. ARM will be included, but I can't do it next. Little Gray Goose. Yeah. This ain't no water play, boy. This is motherfucking Gray Goose, baby. Ad button. I don't get ads. Oh, good. This is a Yeti. This is a Yeti. Not a Stanley. All right. Let's jump into some names just to kill some time here. Let's talk about Tesla real quick. Tesla had that, as you guys know, that little after hours jump because of that Elon 13F filing. It's still under 196 though, right? I don't know. It just looks sort of dead still under 196, which is crazy, right? It's still stuck under that high. So I still think you need to get over 196 for this move to really work out, right? You can see right here, 196, 196. It's really tough to get above that level. And in my mind, I am not doing anything until we break over that 196. So that's really it, right? If we can get above there, if we can hold here, then I know that we'll get reactions to the upside. That's very clear because that is a very major break above that double top high. And it will probably put a lot of shorts underwater, right? So I would definitely look for that breakout above 196. But until then, it's just sort of feels like it's Twilight Zone sort of unknown down here. It seems like you're in sort of the Bermuda Triangle in this area. I just don't love it. I don't love it. So I think it's very clear if you just wait for us to get above 196, right? That's really it. Above there, I think clears it up pretty easy, and you definitely can take some nice trades on Tesla. Until then, I'm just not loving it. I'm going to stay away. It goes up, it rejects, it bounces again. It's just a back and forth sort of mess in here. So 196, that's my watch, guys. I would say do one of these, right? Right click, create alert, at or above, call it 195.50 so you get a little bit of a heads up, and just wait for that bell to ring, right? Just wait for that bell to ring. Yeah, I can see the inverse head and shoulder, guys. I see it, right? I get it. I see it, right? It's there. It's possible, right? But how about we just wait for it to break 196? That's my mindset. All right, let's go to ES. Let's go to the market. Let's wait for this data to come out. Let's see what happens here. Okay, actually, do I want to go ES or do I want to go NASDAQ? We'll go through both of them, but let's just sit on the NASDAQ for now, and let's see how this economic data affects the market here in about 1 minute. All right, still not 1,000 likes. Wow. Damn. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Data about to be released here. Let's see what the reaction is, and let's reassess. All right. Another ad. No, it's all right. I won't do it to you. 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. And does it stay up? It's wicking a little bit right at our supply. It's got to get above it. It still feels like it could be fake. Feels a little fake still. Come on, push through it. It's dancing. This is the dance. That's the dance right there. Dance at supply. ES dancing as well, right? Look at the dance. Right at that 5,030. Let's look at the data. Let's see what the numbers are. So SPY's dancing at 500. So you're dancing at our supply levels above. Let's see if it can maintain itself. Jobless claims 212 versus 219. So jobless claims slightly lower. Retail sales down. Wow. Retail sales down 0.8 versus 0.2. Prior was up 0.4. So a little bit of retail sales down versus expectations. Market not really reacting much to it. I'm surprised you got a print higher on that. Yeah, you're just stuck. I mean, maintaining. So data looks to be retail sales down, jobless claims down. Market seems to be indifferent. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Okay? Don't ever forget that name. Don't ever forget that term. Ever. The market will stay irrational longer than you can possibly stay solvent. Please don't ever forget that. That is one of the most important things you could possibly remember in trading. Guys, you think this is normal? Do you think this is normal? Okay? Right? Do you think this is normal? No, it's not. Okay? It's not. But just because you think this is ridiculous does not mean that you're shorting this move, right? I actually tried to short SMCI around 700, and I lost like $1,000. And then I said, okay, that's it, right? I'm not touching this thing. Yeah, right? This is not normal. But normal is not, what you think is right is not always right. So just play what it is, right? Play and accept. It's like the market is like your girlfriend or boyfriend, right? They're always right. Okay? It's right. Whatever you say goes, okay? I'll take it. Whatever you want, I'll go with it. You can't fight it, man. You can't fight it. There'll be that day. That day will come, right? The downside will come in. It will eventually happen. But if you're watching every day, don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about that day where things sort of get breaking down, where things start to drop aggressively, right? That's the bear case, right? That's what these people like to, wait till we drop, man. You're going to get screwed. No, you're not going to get screwed, guys. You'll be all right. Just watch the intraday levels. You'll be able to tell that things are breaking down. You'll be able to react to that downside move. You'll be able to tell, hey, look at this, right? Trend line's breaking. Or, hey, look, NVIDIA broke this huge level, right? This is not looking too good, right? We're here. We have that liberty to be able to react to these levels every single morning and sort of understand what the market's doing. So we're not scared of that rug pull, that, oh, my God, you guys are going to get screwed if you keep longing this. Not really, man, right? If we start breaking some levels, if we start breaking some trends, so be it, right? Let's start playing the downside. So let's keep going, right? Let's keep on watching. So right now, levels are holding. Everything's intact. We'll have to see how this reacts later on, but for now, intact it is. All right, Tesla we went over. Let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA actually took some pretty decent dip buys on NVIDIA yesterday, but just didn't quite, really quite move the needle for me. Still a red day for me yesterday. You guys can watch the video from yesterday. I explained everything that happened, but today is looking like a pretty good green day for me. We'll see what happens. So you guys can see right here, yesterday, NVIDIA, it pulled back right into our 722 level. You guys know we've been eyeing that 722 level for some time now. That's been our level, that 722 zone. It's been a really nice level. Yesterday, NVIDIA, we talked about it having to gap fill, right? Maybe come back to that 722 for that potential long opportunity, and that is exactly what it did. It gap filled right back down to that 722 demand and sort of moved itself back higher, which you guys know it always does, man. It's like this constant, it's look at how NVIDIA moves, right? It's these big drops and then that grind, right? Those big drops, the grind back higher, the big drops into that gap fill level. So again, right, that's what we look for. We look for those big aggressive downside moves and then see if demand holds. Today, 734 is your level. Okay? 734 is my level today. So I have 734 here, 734 here, 734 here, 734 right there, 734, and then today in the pre-market, 734 again. So I'm going to be watching 734. Do I get a little pullback to that level today? Do I get an opportunity to long NVIDIA back near that 734 today? That's going to be something I watch. If we break 734, then it's 722 again. The only thing I'll say is that the move has seemed slightly muted on NVIDIA lately, a little bit less than normal, but still looks very strong, right? It's been a little bit muted. You can definitely tell that. It's definitely sort of getting a little exhausted, I'd say, but that does not mean that it can't take another bump, man. It can't. There's always another bump out there somewhere, right? So 734, that's my level to watch, right? 722, that's another one. A little bit cautious up here, right? Just a little bit cautious up here. It's potentially anywhere between like 743 and 746. It's really anywhere in this 3-point range, right? It could be this high where it gets stuck. It could be the highs from this pre-market here. It could be this 746 high, right? A little bit tired up here. A little bit tired up here. So could you just wait for like the big push above 746? Could you just wait for that to turn into a support? Yeah, right? Yeah, that's probably the better play, right? That's probably the better play. So 746, right? That's probably your watch. If you can hold above that high, then absolutely that's going to be a long opportunity. If you do pull back to that 734, right, then I would watch for that long as well. So just watch these levels on NVIDIA. Know that NVIDIA continues to be pretty beasty, right? The big aggressive pullbacks continue to cause nice long opportunities. My one today, I would really like to see it hold this right here, 734. Maybe for a little scalp, right? Maybe up towards that 743 supply. Okay? That's NVIDIA. Let's go Netflix. Netflix is looking... Guys, this is one of the... I'm not kidding. This is probably one of the coolest and cleanest weekly charts I've ever seen. And I had to go for it. I saw this and I was like, that's it. I can't even think about this. This is Netflix's weekly chart. And if you guys ever heard of a 3-bar play, there is no better visualization than right here on Netflix. I know like Rake trades. I think he trades like the 3-bar play. This is the definition of that play. You have your earnings squeeze. You have your 2-week sort of consolidation, right? And I mean, look at this weekly candle that's forming right now. That is a pretty insane looking chart right there. So when I saw this, I was like, I'm in, right? I'm in. I ain't thinking about this twice. This is your daily chart, right? You can see you had that consolidation over the last 2 weeks, right? Something along these lines, a little consolidation for the last 2 weeks. You get that earnings squeeze. You get that sort of pullback, right? On top of all of this, 20 SMA, right? You see this 20 SMA? See that, right? See how that 20 caught up to the price action? So we pulled back 20 SMA, right? And then really strong bounce off that 20 SMA. And look at that candle, that daily candle over that trend. So far I'm liking this. If I go to the 1-hour chart, let me go back out. Here's the 1-hour chart. And what you guys can see here, right? You can see right here, you have this previous high and this previous high that is now this morning turning into a very interesting support. So you are now holding over that double top high, right, from post earnings, and you are now turning that into support this morning, and you're seeing that sort of upside start this morning. So if you hold over this 580 today, guys, I would be looking for Netflix upside continuation. I think that's a very valid idea. The next supply above, the next sort of areas of rejections on Netflix, I have, there's not much, but I have a few levels. I have 594. This is already passed. This is like that 580 level. So, of course, we got to hold over that 580, which is sort of this low right here. But my next level is sort of that 594, this low right there. And then above that, I'm looking at this high. I'm looking at this high. I'm looking at this little pivot high right there. That's up at 617. All right, so I think if you can hold this, if you can hold this 580 level here, guys, I think Netflix could definitely get some freedom. Right, so I definitely want to see 580 turn into support today. I think you could see some freedom to the upside if it holds above that level. That's what I would be watching. All right, let's go to AMD. AMD has retested a major level here, something to absolutely be paying attention to. You are back up at that 181. Right, look how clear this is. You have 181, 181, 181, and 181. Right, that's big. So what do I want to see on AMD? You could watch this little previous high right here at 177 to turn into support. The problem I have with that trade is that you would be trading very close to that 181. What might be a little bit more clean and a little bit more easy today is if you just wait for AMD to hold over 181, right? If AMD clearly holds over this 181 supply, you're going to get yourself a nice long entry, right? Probably up into that 185. So there might be about 4 points of reward there. If you just take a break and retest of 181, you can take a long off that 181 level, see if that turns into a nice support, and then you got yourself about 4 points of upside potential into that 185 high. That's how I would set that trade up. I'm going to look for that 181 today. We can go over some of the other semiconductors. I have a small swing trade on ARM, right? ARM pulled back and held these lows, this 117 low. This was a very nice hold, and I'm just sort of going to maintain a small long position here on ARM. ARM needs to get over 135, okay? ARM needs to get back over 135. It needs to turn it into support. If ARM can turn this high into a new low, you'll see more upside. 135 on ARM, very big. Let's just quickly pop into Apple. I just wanted to let you guys know Apple is coming right back down to that 180 level. You're under, or you're just about at that 200 and 100 SMA again. So Apple continues to be dead, which is interesting, but you're still just sort of floating above 180. All right, you're still just sort of floating above 180. Yeah, we can go to TSM and MRVL. Yeah, look at that. Wow, I didn't even realize this, Chef. That's a nice looking, 126 hold right there. Right, what's that 126 level? There's a reason I have that on my charts. There's a big reason why I have that on my charts, actually. Okay, yeah, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, see this 126 weekly highs? 126 weekly highs. 126, that's a big level there on the weekly. And if we go to that 1 hour chart, look at that. Right, look at that. Look at that 126 hold. So, yeah, that's interesting. Right, that's very interesting. 126, nice hold. Looks like you're doing a little break and retest of that 126. Pretty good looking chart, Chef. Pretty good looking chart. I would want to be long as close as possible to that 126 level for that next push. MRVL still looks just fine to me. All right, you can see right here, weekly chart break and retest. It's going to take some time, but that 65, 66 area still holding well. Let's go to Meta. Because I want to sort of preface, right, this Meta trade almost looks like Netflix, right? This Meta trade almost looks like Netflix, right? On the weekly, you can see that big earnings move, a couple weeks of consolidation. Keep an eye on this, okay? Keep an eye on this. This might be very similar to Netflix here. Meta has had that big earnings move and has consolidated very nicely at these higher levels. So I would be looking to see, really, I would just wait to see if Meta can break and hold above these highs for that next big push. Really, that's really what I would look for. Either that, right, or you try to, if you do pull back again, maybe you look for a long off these lows here. This was a beautiful long on Tuesday. So I would say you want to either try to be long in this general zone, or I would wait for us to break and hold above the highs for that next sort of squeeze to the upside. But a nice consolidation on Meta, right? This is a quality consolidation post-earnings, something to be paying attention to. In the short term, there's a few levels, but Meta's been a little bit messy, I would say. The levels have been just a little bit messy. There's one level that I would say you could watch. It's like these general highs here, anywhere around this It's like this 471 to 472 zone, all in this sort of area here. Looks to be a pretty solid area for potential longs, right? Here, 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 there, and there, right? Pretty clear. You can see multiple rejections of that 471, 472. I would say a pullback here could definitely warrant some kind of a long entry of that 471, 472. Okay? All right. Let's go to snow because this looks very interesting. Look at this chart on snow. 30-minute chart on snow. What is this, guys? We talked about this already. All right, we talked about this yesterday. 220 retest. All right, we talked about this one. Previous highs, new lows. That's a perfect break and retest hold. That's beautiful stuff. And today, I would look to see if you can break and hold over 238. We already went over Tesla. Rewind the stream and stop spamming it in the chat. 238, right? Very clear. 238, very clear. A little double top high right now. If you can get a hold above 238, I think that's your next long entry, guys. Break and hold over 238. What else did I want to go over? End phase has been on one. Oh, let's go to coin. Let's go to coin. Oh, yeah. Come on, coin. Come back down to this level. This is what you want on coin, guys. This could be really nice for you. This could be really nice for you here. You want coin to pull back right here. If coin pulls back to that 161, 160, absolutely watch this for potential entry points. You have a previous high, previous high, previous high, and previous high. You have a quadruple top at 160, okay? Very clear quadruple top at 160. You've squeezed above that level. If you come back down and you start to see a battle form at 160, right, you are looking for that next move. This is very interesting right here. I would absolutely be watching 160 today. See if you can get that pullback to that level right here, around 160, 161. Right in that general area. 160 to 161, that's the area I would watch. Yeah, you do have you do have earnings. Okay. Yeah. All right. It sort of kills it. But maybe there's an intraday trade, right? Just really high IV, so be careful of that. On the technical standpoint, that's what you'd want. So, yeah, it makes sense on the technical standpoint, but yeah, okay. You do have a couple things sort of to be careful of. Forgot about that. This coin setup made me forget about the earnings. Yes, we do have earnings tonight. So, a little bit careful on that, but that's a really interesting watch right there, guys. Watch that 160. Amazon, really nothing on Amazon. Good consolidation post-earnings, sort of similar to Meta, but I think I would just wait for Amazon to break these highs if you're going to look along. That's really it. I would wait for that 175 to show me something. All right, so we did end up rejecting on the NASDAQ. Yeah. All right. So we're stuck here still. So our level's valid, right? We can see that NASDAQ did reject, right there. 17,925. ES, 5,030. So we know our level there. Okay? Looks pretty heavy up there. 5,030. 17,925. All right, guys? That's your level. You can see it rejecting right now. All right, guys, that's all I got. If you could, press that like button before you head out. I appreciate any of the support you could provide. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys learned something today. I hope it prepared you for the trading day. And, yeah. That's about it. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe out there. Pay attention to the levels we provided. React off the levels. Don't try to guess. Wait for confirmation. We literally just went over Coinbase. Literally 30 seconds ago. Coinbase? Starting to feel like Jinxie's. If you guys watch Jinxie's stream. Where's the stream, right? They're typing in the stream. Where's the stream? What time did the stream start? All right, guys. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.